What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis and you are watching TWA Motorsports. And today, just like everybody else, guys, we've got daily drivers, stuff we have to work on when we don't want to, and stuff we have to buy when we really don't want to. Yeah, that's the case today. As you can see, it's raining. The shop's full. I've got some stuff apart that I don't want to put outside. The only access door I have that's not blocked currently is the middle one. So we are working with it partially covered. Now I could do this up in the house garage. The problem with that is I don't want to take all the tools up there. But there's two things wrong with this, only one of which we're going to fix in today's video. But guys, these vehicles, I'll talk about the first one that we just discovered about a week ago. These things in the Yukon platform, Tahoe, Suburban, Silverado, Escalade, they had an issue from, let's say, 2015 to the body style change. I don't know if they changed it in the body style, but they had an issue with the AC compressor going out. And what happens is there's an area over here that breaks in this corner where there's a connection, and just over time it breaks. So we have no AC in this thing. But like I said, we're not going to mess with that today. Generally, guys, you can shine a flashlight in here and you can see like a small spot of where it's oily, where it's leaked. I may grab a flashlight and do that later in this video. But here's our problem. This thing almost stranded us last night because the battery is toast. And so I figured I'd show you guys a video kind of how to remove the battery on one of these things. It's not incredibly hard, but at the same time, it's not the easiest battery removal you'll ever do because it's kind of buried back here, to be honest with you. And it's kind of a pain. So we're going to grab some tools. We're going to get this battery out. I'm going to go, I don't have enough time to get a battery ordered, so I'm just going to have to source one from a local parts store, but I'll list the size in the description down below. Guys, I don't think it's going to require a lot of tools, but we're going to talk our way through. I'll talk my way through it here. Let's get this old battery out. And then, like I said, I'll try to get a flashlight, see if we can see the leak here, but we're going to have to address that as well. But let's get started on the battery. Now I'm using a 13 millimeter here. We're going to start by getting this out of the way, which is going to have to be out of the way in order to get this out. May have to have a 13 wrench on the back side of this. Take that back, that's a capture nut. But I did drop the bolt, that's always nice. I'll get it. Once we get that out of the way, we'll set it to the side. I have to get my bolt out of there though. Oh, I see it. Okay, next. This is kind of a protector and a circuit center for junk that's hooked up to this thing. Now we can take this off, get it out of the way, and you can see how, I tell you, I wish this were the case on a lot of the newer stuff, because you would have way more ability to hook, or older stuff, I mean, you have way more ability to hook like stereo equipment up if you had this back in the day, because you have a post to like put your stereo equipment on. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab a 10 millimeter, because that's what we're gonna need to unhook the positive and negative terminal. I'm gonna unhook the negative first right here, and then we'll get the positive next. Another quick tip, if you guys don't have a magnet, get one. They're super handy for when you screw up and drop bolts like I did. And I believe these are 10s. Sure look like a 10. It is. So we'll switch over to the 10 millimeter. And I like to unhook the negative first. Got that unhooked. So once we got that done, now we could swap over, do the same on this. And I think we're gonna have to take this loose in a couple different spots, because I believe this bolts on to the battery. I mean, I think it's clipped on, but I don't think we're going to be able to get it out of here without unhooking a few things first. Back to 13. And I'm sure there's a way to, I feel like this is hooked. I think I'd be better off taking all these loose. And the reason I say that is it'll give me more room to fold stuff out of the way in order to get the battery out of place, if that makes sense. I don't necessarily think you have to take all this stuff loose, but in my opinion, instead of like putting all the pressure folding that over, we'll just take all these off. We'll put them right back into place when we go back together. Are you kidding me? So you've got all 13s and one 15 there. Oh, that's kind of dumb. That's okay though. We'll get it. And I'm just gonna stack these, try to stack them in order. Look, they all go to the same thing, so you're not gonna screw anything up if you get them out of order. But now I'm gonna go grab a 15 so we can get this last piece off. I actually got to looking at that and thought, you know what, dummy, you don't even have to take that off. There's a plug here. I'm not sure what this plug's about, but we didn't even have to take that one off anyway. Now we actually have access to a battery. There should be a hold down on it. And there is. Okay, and it's a 13 as well. Perfect. I don't know, however, if we're going to be able to get it out without loosening up the overflow here, which is, I see one 10 millimeter down there. That may be all that holds it. I think we're going to have to move it in order to get room to get the battery loose. But I'm going to have an extension. We'll start with a 13. And this is a pretty standard GM piece here. It's the same thing like in the dually over there. We put a battery in it recently. So now this thing is loose. But like I said, in order to give us a little more room, I'm gonna unhook the overflow tank. And I don't necessarily know that you have to do that. But man, I don't know, guys. This thing doesn't have a handle on it. So it's gonna be a real treat to lift up and get out of here. And it's not like they're light, you know. Golly. Woo! Okay. We may be able to have done that without taking that out. There's some leaves in here. You guys know how I am. I'm gonna have to vacuum those out, but let's run and get another battery. Now we're back. Got a battery. Luckily, my local parts store had one. I don't know how common they are. Like I said, I'll list it if you can order it. I think you do a lot better online, but sometimes you gotta use the local parts stores. And it's not like I don't like them. I actually have an account with them, so it's not as bad as walk-in, but guys, they're pretty high for walk-in customers, in my opinion. But I vacuumed this thing out. Nobody will ever see it, but I'll know. Anyway, let's load this new battery in here. I know it's not going to be the easiest thing to do, but at least it has handles. The other one didn't have handles, so that'll help. I say it'll help. Golly, it's such a tight bit. I actually think we did better. Yeah, I was gonna say when that was a little out of the way. It is in. Wow, what a workout that is, guys. So now what we'll start with is we'll start with the 13 that held it, wipe this down a little, that held it into place down there. There's kind of a tray on one side to hold one side, then the other side's held in place with the 13 here. Get it lined up. I'm sure, like, I don't know how these things hold their, like, radio. Like, I don't know if we'll have to reset our seat settings and whatnot. All right, that's sturdy. So now what we'll do next is we'll grab our little plate, one on top. Actually, guys, the OCD guy in me is gonna clean all the dust off that real quick. It's definitely better. Now, will this thing snap on this battery like it did the old one? I sure hope so. Let's plug this guy in first. And it should. Oh, it does. It snaps right into place. So now, we can start to line some stuff up. Obviously, we're going to have to hook the power up. And we'll get each one of these back into place. This is interesting. They have little dividers. I don't necessarily know that you can screw them up. They're all shaped differently. Snug those all down. That all looks good. Now don't forget the little 10 that we took off down below for the overflow. You can set it down in there. I don't necessarily know that, not the easiest thing to reach. Okay, we're good there. Wanted to make sure that there's a clip that holds it on the back side, but we're in the clip. So now I'm gonna go grab a 10mm ratchet. And the reason I'm gonna do that is I don't like to tighten these up with the impact. I may run them down a little bit with the impact, but as far as, you know, hammering down with an oh, I forgot one. Somebody screaming at the camera, hey, you forgot one. Probably a good idea if I do that, then this. But anyway, I'm gonna go grab my ratchet because I just like to tighten those by hand. All right, now we got it in there. Not too bad. See if we can get the negative on. Gonna get some spark here, so just so you know, don't freak out. That's normal. I am gonna start that with this, and then I'll snug it down with, I may have to get an extension. No, that's not too bad. I may use this actually. On my bigger impact, I just don't have a ton of feeling, and I don't want to over tighten something. We're set, other than getting the bracketry back into place. Let's grab that. Got this other plastic cover that covers this place. Oh, this snaps on after. Is this on first? This second. Now our bar, which goes underneath, in both spots. We'll start it here first. In here. And you're going to want to tighten up the ones that go to the fender and the wiper cowl first. Because this one moves up and down. Let's test it. Of course, when I'm ready to test it, it starts raining a little harder, but we'll give it a shot. Hopefully it doesn't drag. All right. Hood open. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to reset the radio stations. That's okay. Not a big deal, it is working. Well, look, that's one of the things that I had talked about being an issue, but the other thing that I was talking about, I looked a while ago, I told you I was going to show you. It is down here, and I don't know if you can see those transition points right there. Right there, those break. There's one there, and then there's one up here at the top. Right about in the middle of the camera, right there, right the end of my finger. Okay, those break, and generally they have oil on them, and when they have oil on them, that's generally a telltale sign that it's broken. However, I don't know how long this has not worked. We just recently tried to use the AC. We've had this obviously through the winter, not using the AC. And I've washed it a couple times since then. So there's a chance that it all leaked out, and I cleaned that off because I power wash in that grill really good to get all the bugs and stuff off. So we're just gonna have to see, but that will be the next thing on this Yukon. Like I said, it's not fun to work on stuff sometimes that you don't want to. It's fun to like make stuff faster or put wheels on stuff or like make stuff look newer. But when it's like your daily driver and you just want it to work, that's kind of where my wife's at with this. Let's just make it work. I mean, we lowered it and tinted the windows when we got to put some different wheels on it, but then we just want it to work, right? But hopefully you guys enjoyed this little install video. Look forward to the video coming up when we try to diagnose and fix the AC. That's gonna have to happen. We're not gonna roll around with no AC. It's not gonna work out. But if you did enjoy this video, please, like always, smash that thumbs up button, guys. If you are not subscribed, like I said, go down there, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell notification. That'll notify you every time we drop a new video on this, the daily driver stuff, or any of the stuff in the shop. And stay tuned to see what we work on next.